What improved your quality of life so much, you wish you did it sooner? Leaving a toxic workplace. Well done. I did the same thing a few months back, and my whole life just seems brighter even during a pandemic. Switched to a job where I have a consistent, balanced schedule. Has let me exercise again, socialize more and spend time on other hobbies. This speaks volumes to me. Getting glasses. I put it off for way too long and only got around to seeing an optometrist when I failed the vision test at the DMV as I was trying to get my driver's license renewed a while back. I really didn't appreciate how much my vision had deteriorated or how much I was straining to focus on things until I got them. It was like going from an old court TV from the 90s directly to a top of the line UHD display. I must have spent about an hour just walking around outside and staring at S on that first day. Renewed my driver's license a few weeks back and had a come to Jesus moment when I realized I might not pass the vision test. Reading that this is making me question that my state does not require any test whatsoever to renew your license. Literally just a fee. Hydrocortisone. I had an undiagnosed autoimmune disease where my adrenal glands don't make cortisol, and basically I was unable to catch my breath for months and my blood pressure was zero, and I'd get lightheaded from just standing. Took myself to the hospital where they S me up with hydrocortisone, and I immediately felt normal. S me up doc. I'm feeling dizzy again. If ya S me up, if ya S me up, I'll never stop. Don't make a grown man crap. I started thinking of cleaning as resetting an area. After I cook I have to reset the kitchen. The little shift in perspective made me a much more neat person. Who I think I'm going to steal this. I'm in a bit of a funk at the moment and feel like I'm constantly cleaning. This might be the mental shift I need. I think constant cleaning can stave off getting into a funk. But as a side note, I'm off right now and I'm constantly cleaning every day. But when I was super busy last month, I cleaned once a week and it didn't affect my life at all. Point is, yeah, there's a minimal amount of cleaning you must do daily, but it's something that can absolutely take up all your time with diminishing returns if you let it. Now I'm trying to make Sunday the true reset day. I use that term as well, rather than some piecemeal cleaning every day. This will sound a bit dark, but it's ultimately not. Confronting my abusive parent. I'm 50 and I finally did it a few months ago. I no longer have a relationship with that parent. And doing it was very hard, very scary, and very rough. But as soon as I did it, I felt like an immense weight had been lifted from me. I had spent most of my adult life pretending to have a normal relationship with someone who physically and emotionally abused me throughout my childhood. It took years of therapy for me to even grasp how deeply that affected me or how much it cost me to keep it up. I just feel so free. I wish I had done this the second I was out the door of their house. But this will do. That's incredible. I'm so happy for you. I've been on a similar journey, but they've passed on. So I have everything but the closure. But just recognizing the unhealthy situation was a huge weight lifted as well. It's a beautiful feeling. Cooking for myself. Rather than relying on microwave meals. Eating better, healthier and cheaper at the same time. If anyone is struggling to get started, I recommend a few things. Get a decently sharp chef's knife, a simple Victorian axe fabrics and a knife destroyer. https://www.amazon.co.uk/B prime classic manual knife sharpener /dp/B06xBMBJTF is plenty. You don't need a $300 Nassenbauer knife and a set of sharpening stones, though those are nice too. Write down the foods you like to eat and slowly match every dish with a recipe. This makes your grocery shopping trips much easier because you always find something to prepare. Find a few good sources of recipes. I swear by Serious Eats, but BBC Good Foods has a lot of excellent everyday recipes. Do your mise en place before you start cooking. Take food out. Measure things. It makes cooking a lot less stressful. Over time, you build a collection of simple recipes and non-perishable ingredients, spices, sugar, flour, that make cooking a breeze. You just need to grab 2 to 3 things from the supermarket to cook some really good food. Cooking techniques come with practice. It mostly boils down to temperature control and knowing the impact of each ingredient. For now, just follow the damn recipe and you'll be okay. Realizing that not everyone is judging me, I need to start doing this. I don't wanna care anymore. Any tips? Edit. I wanna thank all of you so much for responding and helping me with this. I really appreciate the help and guidance, guys. From what I've gathered, I need to think about it from another person's perspective. It's just a weird thing a random stranger did that I'll forget about in a minute. 2. No matter how much I overthink, what's done is done and nothing can change, so I should just accept it and move on. 3. No one cares about me and what I do, as sad as it can sound. It's true and I don't see it in a bad manner. I now have free will to do whatever the F I want. Used to care about how much I cursed, but I don't now. Thanks guys. Once again, thank you all for helping me and countless others who read this, and I wish you the very best. Trying to get 8 hours of good sleep every night. 9. If your body doesn't feel rested with 8. Not everyone had the same sleep needs. Sucked at first to have to get 9 hours myself. But after some time feeling actually rested, my brain thanks me for it. Or even 8 15 minutes. Yak now. Like sleep for 8. Don't go bed 8 hours before you get up. I'm so bad about this. I go to bed 10 hours before I have to wake up, but then take 3 hours to fall asleep most days. It's quite miserable. I stopped caring about my job. I still go every day and I'm good at it, but I don't care anymore. Other things interest me now. 13 years of obsessing over work, what a waste. I learned this at 31 thanks to a great manager and mentor. It's really a paradigm shift when you have someone to teach you that it's okay to not operate in a 11/10ths and that 6/10ths is better than most, and to go home and enjoy your life. Finally getting a migraine preventative. I still get migraines, but not over half a month of being in pain. 3 times a month is better than 20 days. I'm on preventive, but still getting them 10 days or more a month. I got medical cannabis last week and hoping that helps with the pain-induced anxiety. Sometimes the pain is so intense that I panic because I'm so desperate to escape it. Hoping to at least be able to melt into the couch. Rather my kids see me that way than having the intense pain shakes and the vomiting and the tears. I broke my neck 5 years ago, which did not help the migraines. For anybody reading who gets migraines and isn't already doing so, get on a magnesium supplement. Talk to your doctor if you have worries or concerns for adding a milligram supplement. It changed how I experience migraines almost entirely. Fewer of them. Far less severe. Personally, I make magnesium bicarbonate by mixing milk of magnesia with carbonated water. I mix mine with a multivitamin packet and take it daily. In no way am I suggesting this can take the place of pharmaceutical therapeutics, but most doctors these days are putting patients on a chelated magnesium pill, and the bioavailability of the bicarbonate over pill form matters. Why I make my own with carbonated water and milk of magnesia. Look into it if you've got migraines. Easy and best solution I've ever found. Life changing. Edit. It was pointed out that magnesium supplements can have adverse effect in people for various reasons, and you should consult a doctor if you have severe migraines and ask them about adding magnesium supplements. I'm not a doctor and you shouldn't treat my advice like I am. Buying a lot of underwear and socks. Also, quitting drugs. Edit. To the people in the comments who are using drugs or wanna quit but can't. As someone who struggled with heroin addiction for a long time and finally quit and got my S together, I highly recommend doing whatever it takes to get off whatever S you're using, man. I know it's very hard during the first few months, but if you get yourself through that phase, you can see your life drastically improve in front of your eyes. And I assure you that's the best feeling ever. Highly recommend quitting 10/10ths. And yeah, buy a ton of socks and underwears. Really comes in handy. In that order. Drinking way more water. This is mine too. I have way more energy and stopped drinking caffeine. My skin and hair have improved significantly, and I swear it improved my anxiety and OCD, although that one might be placebo, but hey, I'll take it. Caffeine gives me anxiety. Well, waking up also gives me anxiety, but so does caffeine. Caffeine gives me anxiety, but not getting enough sleep makes me tired. but there aren't enough hours in the day to get enough sleep. There's no winning. Caffeine is like a shitty band-aid, but it feels like the only option. Saving up money. Once I had 6 months expenses saved, the pressure goes down so much. I can make good decisions instead of desperate ones. I don't get stressed about losing my job. I can schedule my bills every month without worrying about balances. A car repair bill doesn't faze me anymore like a wrench in the monthly cash flow. Life's just easier with money behind. Yeah, I totally agree. Didn't realize how much stress it caused until I had that cash saved. I call it middle class FU money. It means I can stand up for myself at work a bit, because I'm not terrified of not being able to pay bills for a few months, but not enough to quit working. Stand up for myself at work is a great one. Weightlifting. I wish I had started weightlifting so much earlier. I look better, feel better, and it's done wonders for my mental health. Any tips for someone who wants to start but feels completely lost in a gym? I have a little gym at my apartment, just some basics equipment and dumbbells, and really want to start weightlifting and losing weight. Edit. I did not expect to wake up to so many replies. Thank you everyone for your advice. It is greatly appreciated. Close bracket. Check out a website called muscleandstrength.com. They have hundreds, if not thousands of different workout programs listed from beginner to expert, as well as videos showing you how to properly perform each exercise. Cutting off a toxic friend. After having cut off said friend, I felt that I could finally breathe without the stress of setting them off or getting into fights with them. I don't regret my decision at all. I spent Christmas with a friend. She was telling me a story while I was making cookies, and suddenly I felt this warm glow as I realized that I had absolutely no anxiety that her visit would turn into some weird, angry rant. I just noticed how peaceful it felt to know that everything was going to be okay. We'd have a lovely visit and say goodnight and see each other again next week, and the loveliness would go on forever. That's how it feels to replace a toxic friend with a real friend. I feel this way about all of my friends. Not that I have a ton, because I'm extremely picky about the friends I choose, and lucky enough to have the chance to be picky. I don't think I realized that fully until I read your comment and said, yeah, that's what friendship looks like, isn't it? Cutting out toxic family, followed by friends and acquaintances. Life is too short to let people drain you. I'm always polite, but that doesn't mean you own my time or attention with your negativity. It's amazing how much happier I'm decades later. I've been doing this over the course of the last 5 years, and slowly I've whittled my circle down to a manageable handful, and my quality of life is significantly better. Hysterectomy. I spent most of 2 decades extremely sick and miserable. Best thing I ever did solely for my own self. Lost mine to cancer, but holy crap, it was the best thing ever nonetheless. Reading. Luckily I did start reading early on, mostly in my early 20s. I'm 27 now. I've read so many books which have given me much more insight to the world and my own views, especially my place in the universe. I mostly read biology books, but enjoy any realm of evidence-based science and some fiction here and there. Even the entire Bible 2 years ago. If anyone reads this, read. It's wonderful to know our minds can see lines and dots on paper and be able to decipher it. Just that concept alone makes me want to read. Also would like to add, for anyone who's wishing they read more than they do, don't get hung up on feeling like you should be reading classics or highbrow literature or whatever if that's not what you're into. Just read whatever interests you. Feel free to give up on that doorstop that you couldn't get past the 3rd chapter of and move on to something you can't put down. Also, if you don't like the book you're reading, just stop reading it. It's your book. You can do whatever you want to do with it. Plenty of books in the world. Life's too short to be reading a boring one just because you need to finish what you started or something. Leaving the Southern Baptist Church immediately improved all aspects of my life. Getting sober from alcohol. I was drinking so much my body hurt 24/7. I never get tired of not feeling like garbage. My body always hurts from drinking. Honestly, the only reason I drink now is because it numbs how much my body hurts. I don't crave it at all. It is a vicious cycle and I need to stop. Bro, I'm doing a dry January. I slipped once so far, but I'm feeling a lot better. Taking normal shits and sleeping normally feels so good. The first week sucked, especially the insomnia, but after getting past the sleeplessness I'm getting in a more normal sleep schedule, as much as my job allows. I work a weird schedule. It's only been 12 days, but I already feel the difference. Try it if you can. Good luck and my DM is open. I stopped putting other people and their needs before my own well-being and sanity. Pouring from an empty pitcher is exhausting, and when I finally put myself first I felt free. When I read the quote, "You don't have to light yourself on fire to keep other people warm," it changed my life. This may sound dramatic, but that was the beginning of me finally making myself a priority. Playing stupid. I was raised to think that I had to have all the answers all the time. When I started working, my reviews frequently mentioned time management as an area I needed to improve in, because I was so busy giving other people the answers they needed, sometimes to simple questions, that I neglected my own work. A senior coworker told me one day, "It's not your job to have all the answers. You only need to have the answers you need to get your work done. It's okay to play stupid. Don't do their work for them." A previous manager evaluated his engineers' performance/importance by keeping track of who had the most cubicle traffic. If lots of people hovered over someone's cube looking for advice/help/suggestions, that would be his most valuable engineer and deserved the best bonus. Consciously practicing empathy. It's crazy how much lighter you can feel when you're not center stage. I learned that most things have very little to do with me, and that's a huge burden off of my shoulders. Forgiveness is a hell of a drug. Always assuming people are doing things for a good reason. It sounds stupid, but it helps. Someone cut you off in traffic? That's fine. They might be rushing to a hospital. Someone rushing around the store in a fit? They might be trying to rush to get supplies for their sick kids. Any day might be someone's best day or very worst day, so framing it this way avoid road rage and generally being an upset person. Edit. Thanks for the awards and glad this resonated. Someone cut you off in traffic? That's fine. They might be rushing to a hospital. I tell myself maybe they have to poop. I do that too. And if they are driving slow, it's because they are transporting a large cake. Finally getting help and treatment for ADHD. It feels amazing to be able to get through the day without constantly struggling to keep my S together. My wife thought it had an antidepressant in it. Nope. Just finally not stressed all the time clinging to the grass so I don't spin out of control. Huge quality of life improvement. I miss being able to drink caffeine though, and hate how it makes me feel sometimes. But overall it's worth it. Deleting Facebook edit. Just a follow up, as this is getting a lot of responses and I appreciate everyone telling their sides. It was never an addiction for me. I didn't engage or do much on it, but logging in daily for news and seeing all the toxicity of people comments during a pandemic and election year, I had enough. I stay on Reddit because I feel I can control what I see here better, and I don't personally know the people commenting. Realizing some of the things people would say, people I knew, made me sad and very angry. I found it better to just take that out of my life. I'm much happier now, and in turn a better person to be around. Anyone I actually want to stay in contact with I still do with phone calls and text. In conclusion, do what makes you happy. Surround yourself with caring/loving people. Have healthy debates on topics, and delete your clutter. It's not needed, and you'll be a happier/healthier person. Deleting Instagram for me. I'd say if you're using your phone more than a couple of hours a day, see if you can delete any of the stuff you're spending that time on. Absolutely game changing. Sobriety. Seconded. More time. More money. No hangovers. Lost weight. Not drinking lethal poison that's going to give me stomach cancer or heart failure one day, and you get to find out who the true assholes in your life are. I'm 4 years clean, and I'm slowly realizing the truest, most persistent asshole has been me all along.